Start video. Okay, Robbie will take it from here.
Thanks for joining us, Prentiss.
What's going on?
So first up, we got Tom Noy. So Tom, go ahead.
Hey, Prentiss, what's the vibe around the program been like since you were able to do what you guys did on Saturday?
We're just taking our next step. We got our win, but we're not really like hanging our heads too high because we still have a lot to prove to ourselves, and we have a really good team coming in tomorrow.
Next up, Tim Priester.
Prentiss, I'm wondering what you think that Trey Wertz can bring to the equation, both in terms of what he contributes on the court and how he can impact maybe some of the minutes the top four guys are getting.
Yeah, Trey's a really good player. He brings a lot to the table, being able to handle the ball for us and score the ball well. And I think that his veteran presence will be like good for like me, Cormac, and all the other ball handlers, because he gives us another option to like bring the ball to the floor. So
Go back to Tom Noy.
Prentiss, what do you remember about the game last year at Duke and walking out of that building after having lost the way you guys did?
I mean, it was a sour taste in my mouth. I mean, we kind of got blown out, but I mean, I'm not really focused on it too much, just because it was we have a lot to learn from it. And I think that everybody that played in that gym last year are new people. So
Anyone else have more questions for Prentiss? Back to Tim Priester. Go ahead.
Prentiss, you kind of took over offensively in the second half the other day after facilitating your teammates mostly through the first half. Do you consciously look at those situations and say, hey, I need to score more here when maybe my teammates are struggling a little bit to get open or put the ball in the basket?
I mean, just trying to find the best shot possible. I mean, it may happen. I may score a lot in the first half or in the second half. I don't really look to see if I wasn't shooting the ball enough in the first half that I got to get up some shots in the second half. It's just the flow of the game.
Next up, we'll go to Patrick Ingle.
Hey, Prentiss, ignore me if this has been asked already. I hopped on here a minute late, but last week, Coach had talked about wanting to be able to take another step in the process and beating a team like Kentucky or winning in a place like Rupp. What did that give you guys after being able to do that, especially in the way that you did, where you got to stop when you needed to?
I mean, it shows that we can win games like that. And I mean, we didn't close out the game against Ohio State. And I think that us against Kentucky, even though we were in a big lead and it came down to the wire and we were able to get over that hump. And I think it would just excel us to the following games.
Back to Tom Noy.
Prentiss, as big as Saturday was, how big of a step would it be to do this now against some of the teams in the ACC?
It'd be a big step for us. A lot of guys are counting us out and all that, but we're not really worried about that, and we feel as though that we can compete with the best.
Go to Tim Priester.
Prentiss, how have you communicated with Juwan Durham in terms of, getting some more consistent play out of him? What are you looking for? How are you trying to encourage him to make a significant contribution? I
mean, I feel like Juwan's doing the best he can. I mean, last 2 games he's been in foul trouble, so it's kind of difficult. But I mean, that's my job as the point guard to make sure he's good and get him going. So.
Back to Tom Noy.
Prentiss, for a guy who's never played in a game before this year at Notre Dame, what are some of the characteristics that make Cormac a captain? Like what is it about him that you voted him captain and said he deserves to be one of those guys?
I mean, he just has the grit, and I mean, he fights whenever, if he's injured or not, if he's sore, he's still ready to fight. And I think that his voice on the court has been really well. Even when he was sitting out last year, he was able to talk us up, and I think that his play shows it as well. He's a good person off the court and on the court. So.
Go to Austin Ho. Austin, go ahead.
Just muted.
Austin, you want to unmute yourself? All right, we'll go to Patrick Engel.
Hey, Prentiss, following up on Cormac there, when did you first notice, or what were your first impressions of his edge and toughness that he seems to just have and bring with him at all times?
Well, I think I thought it was going to be a really great addition to our team, especially with TJ and Rex leaving. So we needed somebody to step up and be the other guy. And I think that him playing hard and just being able to score the ball the way he does, it's a great addition to our team.
Final question for Prentiss. We'll go to Tom Noy.
Prentiss, I know it's not your main motivation, but what was your reaction when you saw some of the preseason polls that had Notre Dame like 12, 13, 14 in the league?
To be honest, I didn't even see that. I'm not really into all that type of stuff because, I was just focused on getting better and like practicing with my guys because like we didn't really get to do that over the summer like we usually do every year. So I was just more worried about on us.
Thanks for your time, Prentiss. Appreciate it.
Yep.